Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. We're going to be covering today One Tamriel's new monster sets and what this means for tanking and new builds. So in general, as an aside, stamina decays, which are the most popular kind of meta tank at the moment, nothing has really changed too much in terms of optimal best in slot gear. I think the Bloodspawn is still the best for trial content because of the ultimate generation, which allows for more Warhorn ultimates, really crucial for in-game PVE content. But if you're looking for a niche build, maybe to have some fun after some hard day of trials or something, then I think some of these sets here are really nice. So the Rukamaz set. Now this set here I think really shines in Magicka tanking, and actually most of the sets we're going to be talking about today are Magicka tanking focused. So why is this set really nice? Well, traditionally Magicka tanks have suffered from a lack of stamina and maintaining that stamina. So how do we maintain stamina with really low resource pools if we want to invest fully in our Magicka tanks? Well, the answer I think is the Rukamaz set. So traditionally Magicka tanks often have a heal. So we have our Nightblades, they're using Swallow Soul quite a lot, Refreshing Path, constant heals going out to the group and to yourself. And that's going to proc that set. And in return it's going to allow you to regain stamina really efficiently. Because naturally the stamina the Sentinel gives is actually quite good, and also the cooldown isn't too high. Considering the amount of heals going out, multiple heals at once, you're going to have a high proc chance. In turn, it's also going to help your group out. Stamina DPS, although it has kind of been nerfed a little bit, is still very popular, and a lot of groups are going to have at least one stamina DPS. So if they're near the boss, they can benefit from it as well, by having more sustain. Really useful. So not only is it a good utility, and you know I do like my utility tanks, it's a really solid utility option, and in turn it also enables your build to be very competitive, and it really allows you to sort of shift away from that hybrid kind of 75-25 stamina Magicka stamina build to a more really Magicka top end build. What does that allow? Well, bigger heals, more DPS, fun times, right? That's what you want from a niche build. You want something that feels really all in and really embracing the concept of the build. You don't want something that's kind of in between if you want to have like a really fun niche build. So I think that really enables the build, and I really look forward to playing with it, and I do plan on releasing a video showcasing it in a Templar build, because I think it could really work well there. So, Chokeforn Epaulets. This is in a similar vein, though I feel it is necessarily going to be worse than the Rukamaz set. So why is this set appealing? Well, it's a really high heal over time. And for a tank that wants to be self-sufficient in healing themselves, I feel like this could work really well. My only concern is, and I haven't tested it too much, my only concern is that perhaps it might be inefficient in overhealing a certain target it goes onto, and if it doesn't go onto you, if there's not much outgoing damage, it feels relatively wasted. It really depends if this is a smart application. If it only applies onto someone that's actually damaged and requires healing, then that's certainly a lot better. And I think it might be the case because certain sets don't only proc if the target's actually damaged. So it could be okay. I think in terms of solo content as well, it offers interesting outlooks, or options I should say, not outlooks, but obviously then that kind of moves away from tanking to more kind of solo-ish, you know, VMA, things like that. So I think it's certainly an interesting build, and I was planning on using it in conjunction with a kind of Templar solo tank build, where you're kind of trying to keep your whole group alive and have a free DPS group that's just burning bosses really quickly. As to how efficient this will be, I'm unsure, but I just wanted to talk about it because it is one of the key healing kind of niche sets that has been released in terms of the One Tamriel monster helms. One of the things I wanted to return to is, and I think it kind of ties into these sets quite nicely, is the new One Hand and Shield ultimate, which enables you to block for 5 seconds. Now, this is important because you can actually channel abilities, such as Templar Jesus Beam or Templar Budding Jabs, and still have your block up. Now I have tested this, and it doesn't actually block CC necessarily, but it does reduce the damage to a blocked damage rate, which means it actually doesn't matter too much. So it enables you to actually channel abilities, regain stamina while still blocking, and it also, because Budding Jabs, the healing morph, actually heals you, it procs the Rukamaz set, it procs these healing sets, which is really nice synergy. Because before as a tank, without obviously this set and the ultimate one-handed shield ability, you couldn't really channel and be viable, because if you did get hit by a heavy attack or something like that that you needed to block, you would die. So I think it really enables in conjunction with each other, some nice niche sets. Obviously not necessarily good for endgame content, at least I haven't tested it, but it might be good with more testing, who knows. So now we move on to the Troll King set, and you might be thinking, what the hell is this abomination of a tooltip on my screen? Well, unfortunately I hadn't had it dropped, and I didn't feel too comfortable just taking someone else's tooltip, so I used paint and made my own flawless, pretty much identical representation of what the Troll King set tooltip looks like. So why is this set nice? And I think this is really nice for Templar tanking, because the other move for Breath of Life restores Magicka. If you're healing a target, I think it's below 60 or 70% HP, you get the Magicka, most of the Magicka cost back as Magicka regen. And for me, this seems like a really nice inbuilt synergy with this set. It means that if you're doing, as I said before with the other Chokeforn set, if you're trying to do this kind of solo Templar tank and heal in conjunction with free DPS, you can actually very efficiently keep your mana up alongside providing kind of like a heal over time, because the 1500 health recovery is actually fairly significant, I believe. And so just by using the Breath of Life morph, you can keep your group up really nicely, because often one of the problems is if you Breath of Life, they're going to go up to full HP, but it's not going to help them stay there if they're taking some kind of dot or some kind of AoE periodically. So I think that's a really nice set. Also, it can proc on yourself, which means that you can keep yourself alive in dangerous situations, or perhaps, well, obviously if you have no healer it's going to help you keep alive, but also if your healer is perhaps running out of Magicka, it can help there in sort of struggling groups. So I think that's really solid. Just to touch back on the idea of struggling groups, I think all of these sets, apart from obviously Chokeforn, really do help with groups that are perhaps not optimally geared or learning the dungeons. You can really help your group out, help them learn, help them get through content which they might struggle with. So really, I think supportive tanking is great in that respect. You can really go out just with complete randoms and really help them clear this content efficiently. So I'm really excited for the 3 sets I've talked about, especially, and how this enables Magicka tanking to perhaps really shine in a niche way it hasn't before and really fulfill its potential. When I first came back, actually, I did Nightblade tanking for a while, and though it was really fun and I enjoyed it, I felt like I always had to kind of put more points into stamina and block sort of reduction than I actually wanted to. I felt like I was kind of stymied in that sense. And so I hope you guys try these sets out and tell me how it goes. I think that you really will enjoy them. In terms of ranking it just very briefly, I think the Rukamez set is certainly the most efficient, followed by the Troll King, and then the Chokeforn is perhaps the most least, well, the least impressive of them all. Anyways, thank you for listening to my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and as I said, I'll be releasing build videos with respect to what I've talked about, showcasing how it works. I really appreciate all the support, and that's about it. So yep, hope you guys have a great day, and yeah, maybe see you guys in game at some point. Bye bye for now, take care, and I'll hopefully see you all in another video shortly.